Thank you so much, Progress, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. It's shortly past 6 p.m. In Abuja, Nigeria. And I'm sure we have people joining us from different parts of Nigeria and some part of African countries. Thank you for our friends from Ghana for joining us again today. And I can see someone also joining in from Cameroon. Welcome. I can see my friend and business partner there from Kenya. Thank you for joining us. When we did the first season of the Project 40 last year and some part of this year, the whole idea is for us to create a unique Pan-African movement of young Africans determined to change the face of our continent. Like I always say, it takes Africans to change Africa. Okay, we can only seek for partnership from the rest of the world. And the beautiful thing is that Africa still remains the greenest continent in the world, the most youthful continent, and of course, a great destination for investment. So my question for you this evening is, how well are you positioned for the great wealth that is about to befall our dear continent, Africa? And today we have a very interesting section today. All right, so I want to encourage you to please listen to me carefully, closely, and ensure you take note along. I hope you've got your P-square with you. Okay, hope you've got your pen and your paper so that you can jot along. I feel so excited. This is the first edition of the second season of the Project 40 Knowledge Hub. And we'll be talking about something very critical, a critical aspect of any entrepreneur, okay, or even workplace professionals, which is developing adversity intelligence. Adversity, if not properly leveraged, can destroy your vision, can destroy your career, and can even set you into a massive depression. All right. And I'm not seated in front of you this evening because I have it all worked out for me as a person. Okay. As a matter of fact, this topic was influenced, okay, by my personal experience in the past few months. Okay. In the past few months, okay, I've seen adversity in its physical form. Okay. I've seen adversity in its physical form. And if there's anything I am so committed to doing for the rest of my life, is to share my authentic story, okay, my authentic story to impact lives and of course to change people's direction positively. Because if you follow me closely, it will be an error for you to make the mistake I have made. That's why for me, I always tell God, please give me the opportunity to always teach my failures, okay? And for you to teach your failures is simply because you are practically in control. You've been able to get back to the driver's seat. And I want to encourage every one of you, if you've not seen the documentary Project 40 by Abioye, okay, please, I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. It's on YouTube, okay, because on that documentary, you will see the first stage of the kind of adversity I faced during the formative stage of my Project 40 journey. Because for some of you that know the story of Project 40 clearly, I created Project 40 when I was 30. Okay, at 30, my situation was very critical. Okay, and I said to myself, I cannot afford to be this way at 40. And I created Project 40 for myself. Then it was designed to be individualistic, narrow, and personal. Okay, it was when I clocked 39, I realized that this needs to be broadened and we need to make it a movement. All right, so I encourage you to watch Project 40 by Abioye. Then you'll see a very unique dimension of what I had experienced in just a summary of my 10 years journey. And I'm sure in the coming month, you'll be seeing a second volume of that documentary, which we will sure produce as part of the process of documenting my own experience as an entrepreneur and as a business leader. All right, so that being said, let's go straight into the content for today. And I have some announcement to make in the course of this presentation to you today. And it promises to be a very exciting second season. Because this second season, we are doing things a whole lot differently. Okay, we want a good number of our members in the Project 40 movement to be highly empowered by the end of this season, by July 2023. You can look back by July 2023 and say, wow, I'm so delighted to be part of this great movement called Project 40, because the whole idea for this season is to ensure that we reinforce ourselves, we support ourselves, and of course, we help ourselves to grow. So let's get started. Welcome to the second season of the Project 40 Knowledge Hub. I'm so excited. All right, so the topic for today, developing adversity intelligence. Okay, developing adversity intelligence. That phrase, adversity intelligence, I heard it for the first time from one of my very close business partners, Mr. Philip Attar. Okay, and he made a very powerful, interesting conversation with us some few months ago when he was talking about how to manage adversity. And I decided to coin today's session. I decided to coin today's session after that very interesting topic, adversity intelligence. So today, I'll be talking to you about 7 ways, okay? 7 ways to developing adversity intelligence. 7 ways to developing adversity intelligence. And these 7 ways are reflections of my past few month experiences. Okay, like I said at the beginning, I saw adversity sitting right in front of me like this. Okay? And I could see it in its physical form like I've never been before. But guess what? Because of the adversity I faced, my intellectual muscle got built. Okay, my mental muscle got built. I never knew I could be this strong. Okay, and I know a good number of you listening to me right now, you are facing one form of adversity or the other. Trust me, you are not abnormal. You are absolutely normal. Okay, because I remember some few years ago when I faced a major adversity. After I conquered that adversity, I became bigger, I became better. But guess what? You are about to discover a bigger Abioye, a bigger lifestyle up. So, and I hope strongly that I will say the same thing about you, that after today's session, we are all coming to celebrate your next level. Now, before I talk about these 7 key ways to managing adversity, there are some key notes I want you to note on your paper, okay? I need you to note this down. These are key phrases I need you to leave. You can forget everything I'll be sharing with you this evening. Please do not forget these key phrases, okay? Number 1, the strength of an entrepreneur is known during the period of adversity. You cannot look me into the eyes and say to me, you are a successful entrepreneur and you had never faced adversity. It's absolutely not possible. Okay, more than 80% of new businesses die before their 2nd year anniversary. Go and check it out. More than 80% of new businesses die before their 2nd year anniversary. Okay? So, the strength of an entrepreneur is clearly known during the period of adversity. So, I don't know what you are experiencing right now. Just stay calm, because I believe this session today is specially designed for you. Number 2, the best time to learn how to manage adversity is during the period of stability. Okay? The best time to learn how to manage adversity is during the period of stability. So what that simply means is that if everything is going on perfectly well for your business and career at the moment, this session is designed for you also. Because this is the best time. Because they say that experience is the best teacher only to a fool. Because other people's experiences should be your best teacher. And I call this defensive corporate tactics. Okay, if you start planning for adversity when everything is going on for you, you are absolutely being defensive. You are being very strategic. I call it a defensive corporate tactic. Okay, then the third phrase I need you to note in your notebook this evening is profit should not be a priority during adversity. Are we together? Profit, okay, should not be a priority during adversity. So what that simply means is that when your business is currently going through adversity, profit should be the last thing on your mind. All right? You know why? Note this down. Sustaining or regaining your reputation is your key priority during adversity. Are we together? Sustaining and regaining your reputation should be your key priority during adversity. Okay? Adversity, and note this is very important, adversity is an inevitable concomitant in the life of an entrepreneur. Adversity is an inevitable concomitant in the life of an entrepreneur. Okay? And of course, the marketplace is a war field, and adversity is a battle. You get that? The marketplace is a war field. Okay? It's like fighting the Fourth World War. And guess what? Adversity is what? Is the battle. If you don't ever forget that. So if you are an entrepreneur, you are a general. Okay? If you are an entrepreneur, you are a general. Okay? And your staff are supposed to be your army, because it's a serious battle. It's no joke at all. All right? And of course, most businesses experience adversity during a 5-year cycle. Are we together? It's very difficult for a 5-year cycle to roll without a business facing adversity. As a matter of fact, it's difficult for a 5 years, okay, for a 5-year period to roll in your own personal life without you facing one form of adversity or the other. Okay? And of course, adversity is the raw ingredient for success. Are we together? Adversity is the raw ingredient for success, because those challenges are all designed to form you, okay, to give you a unique, authentic story. Like I always say, the harder your story, the sweeter it becomes when you start sharing it. And the sweeter your story, the more people are willing and so excited to pay for your story. All right? And of course, finally, adversity precedes every next level of greatness. Adversity precedes every next level of greatness. What that simply means is that if you are facing adversity currently, your next level of greatness is just a few steps outside of your door. All you need to do is just to keep moving, because you are just simply 3 foot away from gold. All right? So, that being said, I just use those keynotes to create a platform, okay, for my conversation with you this evening. And everything I'll be discussing going forward will be circled around this keynote I've shared with you. All right? So please, on the comment bar, on the comment chat, please kindly drop what struck you the most, okay, of all the keynote I just shared with you now, which is the one that you feel really struck you the most, that will be one of your key takeaways. Now, because we are trying to be as swift as possible on this very first edition, okay, we will be taking all questions through the chat bar, okay? All your questions, just be dropping it on the chat bar, all right? Then we'll be taking them one by one. We want to be very swift. Don't worry. From next month, we get more interactive. By the time I start bringing in those faculty members, and we start having some deeper interactions. And it will interest you to know that today's session is also going to form the foundation for this season's Project 40 Knowledge Hub, because every of our faculty members will be saying something related to this section of today. All right. So 7 ways. Okay. So 7 ways to developing adversity intelligence. I'm sure we've heard about emotional intelligence. Today we are talking about adversity intelligence. Okay. So number 1 is how to rework business calculations that went wrong. You know, they keep telling us, oh, if you want to start a business, You must start with a business plan. Of course, I agree. Before Lifestyle Up, in my former life, I used to run a company called Up the Fair Consult. All we were doing then was we were just writing business plans for people. Okay, we have businesses to develop their new businesses, new ideas. Then we develop it into business plans. We come up with those 5 years financial projections whereby they will ask you, how much do you intend to make in the next 5 years? What are your revenues in the next 3 years? You will just say it. Those are all paperwork. But guess what? When you get to the battlefield, okay, imagine you going to the battlefield with AK-47 and you just suddenly realize that your opponent, okay, are coming in with chemical of mass destruction. What are you going to do? Okay, and guess what? You've already burnt the ship. As a general, you told your army, set the ship on fire. Okay, it's either we win or we win. Okay, what are you going to do? All right. So the narrative, everything has changed on you. It's like magic. It's like magic. This happened to me most recently, where my seemingly beautiful business calculations went wrong on me. Okay. And as a general, there are certain things I had to do. And I will share with you what I did and what I'm still doing. All right. Number one, once you discovered that you find yourself in a crisis situation where your business calculations had gone wrong on you, you are kind of as if you are stranded. The first thing is that you've got to stay calm and maintain a very positive outlook. Are we together? You've got to do what? Stay calm. That is not when you want to start tearing your hair. That's not when you start forgetting to shave and looking trim, looking neat. Okay, let me say this to you. The marketplace, nobody wants to do business with anybody that have problem. So if you put your problem in your head, in your face, trust me, those businesses that could help you recalculate, okay, we just move right in front of you to another person. All right? So you have to stay calm, maintain a very positive outlook. Let people around you that understand that you are going through some form of challenge, let them see you and let them start imagining if you are a normal person or not, because they could not even see the fact that you are managing a major business challenges, okay, or a major business challenge. Okay, ensure that you stay calm and do what? Maintain a very positive outlook. Then number two, ask yourself the most critical question. Okay? There is a very critical question you've got to ask yourself. What did I just learn? Are we together? There are no bad or good experiences. They are all learning experience. There's no experience that is good. There's no experience that is bad. Everything is learning experience. So you've got to ask yourself, what have I just learned? I remember where I used to work before, there was a time we spent millions of naira to plan an event at the Yaradua Center. We'd paid for the hall. We're expecting people to show up. Guess what? We ran at a loss. Okay? And we all got back to the office. We were all scared. We thought our boss was going to be very angry at us and so on and so forth. And he just said, you know what, guys? Put that 2 point something million, as then 2 point something million was a lot of money. Okay? Put it in our L&D account. Okay, then I was wondering, what is this guy talking about? What is L&D account? And I asked, sorry, what is L&D account? They said, learning and development. Are we together? That is what makes an authentic entrepreneur. Okay, I remembered one of the questions I asked myself. That's like, before you jump into entrepreneurship, you've got to ask yourself a lot of questions. One of the questions I asked myself before I drifted into entrepreneurship was, Abioye, do you have the capacity to walk away from any amount of money? Okay. And my answer was a yes. There is no amount of money as an entrepreneur that I cannot walk away from. Okay. So, and if your answer is a no, you need to reconsider your thoughts of becoming an entrepreneur. Okay. So you've got to ask yourself this critical question: what did I just learn? Then list out all the lessons. All right. Then after you've asked yourself that critical questions, okay, you've got to go back to the drawing board. Okay? You've got to do what? Go back to the drawing board. And the first section in your drawing board is don't make it a group conversation. You've got to go back to your own closet, okay, to your own private point, okay. In your house, you must have your private corner, okay, that nobody just drift into that corner anyhow, okay. You go into that corner and you ask yourself 5 more questions in addition to the first one that I said, what did I just learn? Okay, the first question you need to ask yourself is that, how much have I just lost? All right? Just as wow, this wasn't what I was planning. This was not what I projected in my business plan. So how much did I just lose? Okay, it's very important that you ask yourself, how much have I just lost? That question is important because an entrepreneur should not joke with numbers. The most used application on my mobile phone is my calculator. Not even my Instagram account or WhatsApp. I open my calculator more than any other application on my phone. All right? Because I walk around with numbers a lot. So you ask yourself, how much have I just lost? Listen down. Like I said, stay calm, have a positive attitude. Once you write down that amount, after doing your calculation, please don't start crying and tearing your head. Just look at that number and say, wow, isn't this interesting? Okay? Look at the number and say to yourself, wow, isn't this interesting? If that number moves you to the point of depression, that simply means that you lack, there is an internal capacity you are supposed to develop if you want to be wealthy. Okay? If you want to be wealthy, if somebody sits beside you and say, oh, we are working on a $3 trillion project, don't move. That $3 trillion should not be a figure that should move you. There is no amount that is bigger than what is inside of you. All right? So ask yourself, how much have I just lost? Then another important question you need to ask yourself, and for me, this is the most important question because it has a lot of implication. Okay? So you need to ask yourself that, how will this affect my relationships with partners involved? Are we together? How will this affect my relationships with partners involved? So this is very important. I remember, let me just tell you a very real life story. And this story is on my documentary on YouTube, Project 40 by Abioye. Please watch it, like I said. There was a period, I think about 9 years thereabouts ago, 8-9 years ago. I did a business with some guys. Okay, I took a loan from them, and they wanted to be part of that business of mine, and they wanted to be a debt partner, not an equity partner. So a debt partner simply means that they don't care about my profits. All they want is their money back plus the interest on the money. Okay, and we did this productions, everything from Czech Republic, blah, blah, blah. And guess what, guys? Everything went bad, okay? Something went wrong in our business calculations, and we lost money, and I became indebted to these guys. And guess what? It was a fund that keeps increasing every week. So it was a weekly increment loan I took, okay? I will pay, before I know it, I would like that to pay them again, then it will accumulate again. Then when I realized that, wow, Abioye, it's like you are drifting into a deep hole, because I realized that I've paid them almost the amount I'd collected from them, and it's like I'm still owing them times 3 of what I collected from them. Okay, I had to quickly run to a magistrate friend of mine, and I said to her, look at this problem I'm facing. I will need you to please call these partners of mine, kindly do some form of arbitration between us, okay, mediation between us, okay, and please help me appeal to them to stop the weekly increment. At least let's reduce the depth of the hole that was being dug for me, all right? And luckily, she accepted. She called for a meeting. Luckily for me too, they accepted. We drafted an agreement, okay? Then I kept paying. As at the time, something went low for me again that I couldn't pay further. I'd already paid these guys times 3 of what I borrowed initially. Okay, but the luck was that what was left was not increasing, was fixed. But because I defaulted for a month, they came and they wanted to pick my car, all right? And they now decided to go to court. So when they went to court, I spoke to my magistrate. I said, these guys they've gone to court. She said, not to worry, let them go to court. It's okay, it's fine, all right? And they went to court after like 2-3 sessions, sitting, and the judge in charge of the case said, oh, they did a lot of other investigation. And the judge said to them, oh, you mean this guy borrowed this amount from you? He has paid this amount, and you guys are still dragging him for this. And the judge just struck out the case in my favor. Okay. Now, what that simply means that I had legal protection, but I was not satisfied because relationship was very important to me than the money these guys were dragging me for. All right. Then after some months, okay, I did some consulting works and I got paid handsomely. And I called these guys for a meeting, despite the fact that the court had ruled in my favor, I still signed the check and paid these guys off. Okay? Till today, they are still running after me to do business with me. But guess what? I'm not doing business with them again. Because, trust me, someone that takes you to court definitely has already thrown away the relationship out of what? Of the window. But what I just simply did was to set the record straight that for me, on my own part, the relationship was more important to me. Okay, so I could run to them in an event. Oh, they greet me with all forms of respect. All right? But for them to come to me, to do business with me going forward, it's absolutely a no-no. So you need to ask yourself, how will this affect my relationship with these people involved? All right? Then the third question you need to ask yourself that, how long will it take me to deploy my existing product and services to recover lost funds? Okay, let's say for example, you lost $5 million from a transaction. Okay, and you have to pay. All right, but you still have your business going on. You are still a going concern. So you need to ask yourself, how many of these products do we need to sell to be able to accumulate this 5 million liability we've incurred? Okay, because that will also form the kind of strategy and daily activities you need to deploy. Okay, and of course, another question you need to ask, number 4 question is, which of the lost funds am I? And of course, that of my investors. Which of these lost funds, let's say for example, you lost $10 million. Then you need to ask, out of this $10 million, which of this is for me and which is for my investors? Let's assume, for example, you own $4 million from what is lost and $6 million is for your investors. So your first priority is to raise that $6 million at the shortest possible time. Okay, that will be your first priority. And I'll be talking about how we can make this happen in the course of this conversation today. And of course, the last question you need to ask yourself that, is my product line strong enough to help me achieve my vision? Okay, is my product line. So that simply means that if you discover that it was because your product line was not solid enough, that's why your business calculation went wrong. So what that simply means is that you need to create other product lines in line with your vision. Okay, you need to do what? Create more product lines in line with your vision. In the course of this conversation today, we'll be talking about critical thinking. Okay, then I will talk about how these products can be created. Okay, then of course, determine the major gap in your business processes. All right, so after going back to the drawing board, asking yourself all these 5 questions, then final thing I will recommend this evening is determine the major gap in your business processes, because it might be because of those gaps that your calculation went wrong. Okay, so that is number 1 way out of the 7 ways to developing adversity intelligence. So let's quickly move on with number 2 way to developing adversity intelligence is how to leverage current failure for near future success. Okay, how to do what? Leverage current failure for near future success. There is a book I read that changed my life. And I would like you to read that book. And I've recommended this book to some of us already. It's called Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. If you can read that book, if you can internalize that book will prepare you for the future adversity that will come your way. Don't be scared when you hear adversity. You have all it takes to fight it. Okay, like I said in that note, the early note I shared with you, adversity simply precedes the next level to greatness. No adversity, no greatness. All right? No challenges, no greatness. Like Jim Rohn would say, never wish for less challenge, wish for more skills. Never wish it was easier, wish you were better. Okay, so now, how can we leverage current failures for near future success? Okay, the first thing I would like to say under this second point is list out all your current business challenges. Are we together? So all the areas of your businesses that are giving you challenges, that are giving you sleepless nights, that are giving you, that have made you cry occasionally. See, it's okay to cry. Okay, I won't say to you, oh, you've got to be so strong. Don't ever be caught crying. Says who? You've got to cry. Sometimes you need to cry to clear your head. But never stay in your tears. Never dwell in self-pity. Okay? Trust me, nobody cares about your tears. Okay? Nobody cares about your tears. It's okay, you can cry, but you've got to stand up and encourage yourself. You are your number one encourager. You must have the capacity to inspire yourself and to motivate yourself. Before today's session, few minutes before this session, I spoke some certain deep words into my life, into myself. I am my number one prophet. Okay, I did series of prophecy upon myself. Okay, this morning. Okay, so sometimes if you catch me in my secret corner talking to myself, you would think Abioye is going crazy. All right? So you must always speak to yourself. You must always tell yourself how great you are. You must always say that, oh, these challenges lack the capacity to destroy me. Okay, you must always tell God, God, you brought me this far to leave me in this mess. I know there is something you are trying to teach me. Lord, I'm ready to learn. Okay, I'm so grateful for this experience. Oh, God, you mean I have the capacity to have handled this kind of pressure? I never imagined that. Okay? So it's very important that don't be scared to list out all those challenges. List them all out. When I say list them out, not in your head, I mean on pen and paper, black and white, or white and blue if you are using a blue pen. Okay? So it's very important. Very, very important. List out all those challenges. So after you've listed those challenges, then you've got to determine factors that led to these challenges. Are we together? Determine the factors that led to these challenges. See, please note this down again in your notebook. Note this down. This is very important. History leads the wise and drags the fool. Okay, it's only foolish people that do not learn from history. Okay, so history is designed to shape our current state for a more intelligent future. All right, so determine all those factors that led to those challenges. As a matter of the number one factor might be you. Maybe you as a business leader taking some very careless decisions innocently. Okay? So it's very important. Okay. Now, after you've done that, ask yourself this question. What lessons has each of these challenges taught me? All right? Then you've got to create a list of 4 solutions for each of these challenges. So that means, challenge number 1. Okay? Then, of course, for this challenge, just think. Okay? It's called reflective thinking. So for this number 1 challenge, what are the possible solutions? Then you keep brainstorming. Now, in my former life, I used to do some form of life coaching. So Someone walked into my office, booked a session, and this person told me the challenges he or she was going through, maritally. All right? And I simply said to this person, I said, okay, please, can you pick this white marker? This is a whiteboard. Please kindly list out the top 4 challenges you are facing in your marriage. Okay, and this person listed number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And I said, okay, for each of these challenges, please, can you just list out like 3 possible solutions for each of them? And this person thought almost 1 hour, 30 minutes, we're on this. The person, for this number 1 challenge that gets me angry the most, I think this will solve it, this will solve it. Number 2, this and this and this. And after listing 3 challenges for each of those 4 issues, and I said, thank you for coming, our session is over. Okay, and I still got paid. You know what, the person came with the challenge, and this same person came with the solution. Are we together? The person came with the solution to your challenges are deposited in you already. Okay, all you just need to do is to believe in your ability to drive solution. Some of these solutions are so raw that you need to read a book to refine it. You need to attend a session like this to refine it. All right? The book itself is not what is solving your problem. Okay, the book is to stimulate. Okay, the book is to stimulate the solution in you. So don't say, I read this book gave me a solution. No, this book stimulated a solution in me. Okay, you are the greatest being on earth. If you don't know, you are a God by yourself. God created you in his image. Do you know what that simply means? Why have we been underrating ourselves? God created us in his own image. Are we together? So it's very important that you, when you list out all these challenges, then ask yourself the 4 critical questions. Okay, list out 4 solutions for each of these, all right, challenges. Then ultimately, this is very important. Ultimately, you've got to create a solution-inspired product. Okay? You've got to create a solution-inspired product or concept or services as your adversity legacy. Do you get what I'm saying? Every adversity is designed to create a shift, either a positive shift or a negative shift. But the kind of shift will be determined by your reactions. Okay? It's your reaction that will determine if the adversity will draw you down or will eventually lift you up. So after listing all those challenges and everything, okay, you must not allow this season to be wasted. There must be a new product. Your company must be known for something. Okay, one of my excitement when I woke up today was because Lifestyle Up, okay, the company I lead, okay, we'll be launching some very interesting adversity-inspired products very shortly. As a matter of fact, the formation of our company will be changing gradually because we've learned so much in the past, let's say 9 months, okay, that we've been in the warfield. For me, I call it a warfield, a battlefield, okay. And the beautiful thing is that we're coming out of it. You know, when we enter the field, the battle, we're 1-star general. Now we're about to be decorated as 5-star generals, okay, because we never gave up. We faced our challenges straight up, okay. So you've got to ensure that when you created those solutions and everything, create your product out of it, because never put the crisis to waste. Are we together? A crisis situation that is not properly leveraged is a wasted experience. Okay? Never put the crisis to waste. Bring up all the learnings, all the new experiences, all the new discoveries. See, it's during adversity you will know who is for you and you know who is against you. During adversity is when you know who are your real friends. During adversity is when you know the power of money, what people can do to you, okay, because of money issues. It's during adversity, okay, because adversity is designed to toughen you up positively, okay. And when people, see, don't get me wrong, when somebody is harassing you deeply because of money, see, don't ever judge that person. The person is just being human. It might be you. But the question you ask yourself is that if someone else is at my mercy, will I react this way? If that person's reaction makes you feel so bad, then you've got to promise yourself that you will not react exactly the same way to another person in the future. Are we together? Okay? So it's very important. So don't ever judge them. Just focus on the issues, okay? And keep managing them. I'm going to talk about that also very shortly. So these tips I just shared with you, trust me, it will greatly reposition you on how to convert this current seemingly failure into a near future success. So number 3, okay, on our point today is how to protect your vision, your dreams, your aspirations against external invasions. Are we together? How to protect your vision, your dreams, your aspirations against external invasions. Like I said to you, it's a warfield, it's a battlefield. It's either you win or I won't even say you lose, because the way it works is that you will be totally exterminated. You'll be totally faded off. Okay? Whereby as an entrepreneur, you simply go and dust up your what? Your CVs. All right? And go and quickly look for a paid job. Okay? And my conversation today is not just for entrepreneurs. Okay? It's also for people that are workplace professionals. Because everybody cannot become entrepreneurs, but everybody can have the mindset of entrepreneurs. If you are a workplace professional and you have the mindset of an employee, your company will outgrow you. At some point, they will politely tell you to exit. But if you have the mindset of an entrepreneur, even as a workplace professional, okay, you can potentially end up becoming a business partner to your current CEO. Okay, if you doubt me, go and read the book, Think and Grow Rich. Read the book, Think and Grow Rich. All right? I think we should even organize a movie session of that book. We have the movie at Lifestyle Up, where we should even invite some of our Project 40 members that are based in Abuja. Sorry, if you are not in Abuja, please forgive me, okay? Those that are based in Abuja, I think I should plan that in the course of October. We'll invite you to our office and let's watch that movie, Think and Grow Rich. It's very, I've seen that movie probably like 20 times thereabout, and I can never get tired watching it. Okay, so how to protect your vision, your dreams, your aspiration against external invasion. Number 1, re-evaluate your business legal framework. Are we together? You've got to do what? Quickly, immediately re-evaluate your business legal framework. The kind of contract you sign out with people. Okay, it's very important because the external invaders, they can easily invade you by the time they see a major loophole in your contract. Are we together? So you've got to do what? Reevaluate them. Okay, it's very important. And secondly, have a team of internal and external legal advisors. See, it is very difficult for you to overcome adversity if you don't have a very solid legal support. Are we together? It is very important that you have your internal legal advisors and you must also have your external legal advisors. Your external legal advisors, they look at your processes from a from a very unique perspective because they are not in-house with you. Okay, because your internal legal advisor might be emotionally involved with the vision and everything, but somebody outside is looking at you and the kind of contract to sign out. So I want to encourage you. You've got to invest in legal professionals. You cannot succeed as an entrepreneur without that. Okay, And somebody will say to me, oh, Abioye, I don't have the money to have a lawyer. Who says who? That simply means that you are probably not leveraging the value you have. So you can always do what we call value-to-value exchange. Okay, I don't know what your product is. So you can call a friend of yours that is a lawyer and say, you know what, can you provide me a legal advice? Okay, or provide me legal advisory for the next 1 year. And anytime you walk into my hotel, you don't need to pay for any accommodation for a year. Okay, I don't know what you do. Maybe you are into fashion. So can you provide me with legal advice for 24 months? And I'm going to make you 10 unique outfits that will last you for at least a year or two. Okay? So you are simply exchanging what you have for what you want. So you've got to be very creative. So poor people, they are so poor because they think money is naira, dollar, pounds, blah, blah, blah. No, money is relationship. Okay? You can use your money is relationship because by quality of your relationship, you can acquire so much services. Okay? Money is value. Okay? Money is integrity. All right? Money is knowledge. So you can deploy all these things together to get in what you need. Okay? And of course, number 3 is that never rush into signing a deal. Okay? Never rush into signing a deal. Then, of course, number 4, under protecting your vision, your dream, and aspiration against external invasion is question your existing business model every month and update your terms and conditions accordingly. Are you there? Question your existing business model. You designed the business model. I know you designed it. But as part of your month-end evaluation, question it. Okay? Use your head to create crisis. Okay? Simulate a crisis situation in your head. Okay? And question in the process, even you will see an aspect of your terms and conditions that needs to be improved or reworked. Okay? Then, of course, make sure to comply with every regulatory and legal framework as established by your regulators or your government. Okay? If you don't want your business to be invaded by external invaders, you've got to ensure that you comply with every regulatory and legal frameworks. Okay? Like in Nigeria, for example, every serious business in Nigeria knows that there is what is called the anti-money laundering processes. Okay, that every business is supposed to observe. All right? So you ensure that your business is properly protected and ensure that the kind of people you do business with are not those that will drift you into another form of adversity. Okay? I'm into construction, for example. I know that my regulators, for example, could be FCDA if it's in Abuja, okay, or FHA in terms of approvals. So that means that it would be so foolish of me to go to site to start construction without an approval for my construction. Are we together? Okay? Or a form of pre-approval. Okay, but it's very important you ensure you carry your regulators along. You are doing businesses for 10 years, for 5 years, you do not have a tax clearance, then you are not in business yet. Okay? So all these are factors that could drift us into some form of adversity. So if you don't want any external invaders, you've got to ensure that you adhere to all regulatory frameworks. All right? Then, of course, when you sense your business principles are being violated, okay, this is very critical place. When you sensed that your business principles are being violated, do not verbally notify. Okay? Do not verbally notify or verbally complain. No. Send a written notice of infringement to that very party. Are we together? So if you want to protect your vision from being invaded, by external forces, you've got to ensure that anytime you sense that a party is violating your business principles, you've got to ensure that you have a written note of complaint to that person by your lawyers. Okay, I'm not saying you should sue that party to court. No, I'm not saying that. It's a different thing entirely. Okay, you have to ensure you write a letter and request, okay, for an amendment or an adjustment, okay, so that you are sure, especially for those of us that are into businesses that has to do with a lot of people working around a system that has been created, okay? Then, of course, listen to this carefully. Create a strong mental defense, okay? Create a strong mental defense and let none of those attacks break you. Because sometimes you've been invaded already, okay? You've been invaded already. So once you know that you've been invaded already by external forces, you've got to ensure that you create a strong mental defense and never allow any of those attacks to break you, because you need to stay standing. Okay, you need to remain standing for you to be able to fight. Okay, cry if you must, but never dwell in self-pity. I said that earlier. If you wish, you can cry. Stand up, encourage yourself. Never dwell in what? In self-pity. That mental defense is very key, because it can be psychologically taxing. When you see what you've been building and it's as if it's destroying right in front of you, it requires a lot of mental stability, trust me. It's easier said than done, okay? It's easier said than done. But guess what? It can actually be done. It is practicable. I've applied it. I'm still applying some of these principles I'm sharing with you today. So it is actually doable, because there is no way out of coming out of adversity if we don't adhere to principles like this, okay? And of course, finally, under this third point is question everything you hear. Question everything you are told. Question everything you've been told until you verify. Are we together? Question everything. Question every report until you do what? Until you verify. You know why this is very important? You know why this is very important? Because people typically don't do what you expect. They do what you inspect. Are we together? People typically don't do what you expect. They do what you inspect. So you've got to inspect. Okay? So it's you shouldn't be a virtual CEO. You've got to get your hands dirty too. Okay? You've got to ensure that you read every document before it goes out. Okay? So, sometimes we CEOs, when we see an email, we just can't. Sometimes it can push us into troubles. Okay? So it's very important that when they bring those documents to your table, even when you're tired, open your eyes. Okay? If you must drink coffee, drink coffee. Then later on, you can detox your system with things like aloe vera gel, for example. It's one of the things I use to detox myself. Okay? So it's very important that you question everything you are told, okay, until you verify. Because people don't do what you expect. They typically do what you inspect. All right? Fantastic. So what has been your experience so far? Okay, so please, let's keep those questions coming in. Okay, just keep typing your questions. We are going to respond to those questions, especially on the WhatsApp group, okay? Because we want the WhatsApp group to be very interactive tonight. So every question that is being dropped today, we are moving those questions to the WhatsApp group and we'll be responding. So if you are not on the WhatsApp group yet, distinguished Chinyere, Emmanuel, please kindly just help me drop the link to the WhatsApp group on this platform immediately so that they can click and join, all right? And the WhatsApp group we have is not those WhatsApp group that people join, just drop all sorts of information. Not at all. It's only admin that can actually post, all right? So, but for tonight, we are going to open up the WhatsApp group so that I can answer those questions directly myself. Then, of course, we make it as interactive as possible on that group tonight, all right? Very good. So, number 4 ways to developing adversity intelligence, okay, which is sustaining your integrity during adversity. See, adversity can destroy your person. Adversity can destroy your integrity. A bad business can make a good entrepreneur become bad in the eyes of people. Can you listen? Do you get that? A business that went bad can also give that entrepreneur a bad outlook. Okay, so they will just say, that guy is a bad guy. Some will even say you are into fraud. Okay? They will say, that guy is a criminal. Oh, those guys, all they do is to defraud people. Okay? You know why? It's simply because the business had gone bad. If the business hadn't gone bad, definitely they will not say that about you. So, what people say about you typically should not even be your primary motivation. It's what you know you are. That's why the best gifts God has given you and I, okay, the best gifts God has given you and I is the gifts of tomorrow. Okay? Is the gift of the future. The future is specially designed to redeem your current being. Are we together? Even if you have the best of perception right now, the future is designed to make you better. It's designed to help you expand the frontier of the good perceptions you have already. If you have a bad perception right now, not to worry. You should go into depression when you are sure that there is no tomorrow for you. But once you know there is tomorrow, tomorrow is an opportunity for you to right the wrong of today. Are we cool? All right, great. I don't know if I'm inspiring you today or I'm demotivating you. I hope I'm inspiring somebody today, okay? I hope because for me, I just want to pour my heart to you this evening, okay? And the whole idea is for us to grow together as young African entrepreneurs and, of course, change the business narrative we are all into positively forever. So, sustaining your integrity, I have some few points here, okay? Number one is that keep a close communication with all affected parties. Communication is powerful. Powerful, powerful. Okay, there's a book I would like to recommend again on communication. It's my best book on communication. It's by John C. Maxwell. Everyone communicates, few connect. We are going to drop an ebook of that on the WhatsApp group today. And the first one I recommended earlier, we're also going to drop the book summary, which is Failing Forward. Okay, there's a book summary that summarizes the book. We'll drop it on the WhatsApp group for you all. Also, between tonight, and tomorrow. Okay, so be a step ahead when it comes to communication. Let's say, for example, you are under obligation to your investor and the business had gone bad already. Okay, before they call you, it's more powerful if you are the one that made the call before they called you. So it simply gives you a step ahead. They know that you are working. They know you are serious about righting the wrong. They know that you are still a going concern. They know that your business has still got a great prospect. They know that if they can exercise some good patience, okay, you end up becoming their best friends in the future. They know that your business has the capacity to pay them back and for them to even do more business with you if you can communicate with them effectively. And when I say communicate, I'm not just about you disturbing them with phone calls. No. I'm talking about you sending them newsletters on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, sending them emails about updates, about what your company is up to, things you are doing to right those wrongs, okay? Because it's their right to feel disappointed. It's their right to take any actions they want to take. They have the right to take any actions they want to take against you, all right? But you need to do what? Keep up the communication, keep up the hard work you are doing on the background, and at the end of the day, you will be able to sustain your integrity, okay? And of course, another way, okay, under this point of sustaining your integrity during adversity is create a comeback plan, okay? Create a comeback plan and share with all interested parties. Okay, create a comeback plan. As a matter of fact, if you can do me a favor today, if you are managing adversity at the moment, I would like you to look for a flip chart paper. Okay, look for a flip chart paper. Emmanuel, I don't know if you, Emmanuel, don't worry, come, Emmanuel, come around. Just check around there. I think I have some flip chart paper there. Okay, You can create a flip chart paper. Okay, I'm going to show you an example of what a flip chart paper is. Fantastic. Thank you, Manuel. This is a flip chart paper. All right? So you can simply just tear something massive like this, something big. Okay? All right? So, Manuel, please, you can have this. Thank you. So have a flip chart paper right here, okay, and create a title on it, my comeback plan. Okay? Just title it, my comeback plan. Then list out all the critical strategies that will help you come back. Great ideas, great activities, okay, new processes, okay, new products you want to develop, new people you need to start talking to. Have it on a large flip chart paper like this and stick it on your wall. Okay? Stick it on your wall. It's very important you do this because when you wake up in the morning, that is one of the first things you see. You make your prayers, you say your prayers in the morning, you walk straight into this flip chart paper, looking at the things you've written boldly, okay? And you say to yourself, I'm going to do something today to draw me closer to my comeback plan. Okay, it's powerful. Okay, I do this. You can see I'm right in my office right now. You can see my vision board. I don't know if the camera can capture the vision board. Okay, everything you see on this vision board are critical aspect of my business. Okay, so there's a difference between this flip chart paper because this will go off with time. Okay, this is permanent. So this is like your emergency. What's it called? How do I put it now? War charts. You know, I told you already, it's a battlefield. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. So that even when you are traveling, you know you are going out of town for like 3 days, remove it from your wall, enter your hotel, and take your stick on. What's it called? I also encourage you to have in your bag the masking tape. Yeah, it's the paper tape. Okay, it's easier. It's very flexible. So you check into your hotel. You put your comeback plan right in front of your bed. Okay, when the room service comes, they'll be wondering that, oh, is this Soga okay or not? You are not okay, of course. You are not okay. Okay? And it's okay not to be okay. All right? And simply because you know that your greatness is just right on that white paper. And all you need to do is to do something every day. Okay? Every day that simply draws you closer. All right? After you've created your comeback plan, you must have trusted people within your team. Okay, let them know what this comeback plan is. So that when they are supporting you with their services, they know exactly what you are thinking. And they could even add great value to that comeback plan. Because if your armies, the people that work around you, cannot add value to your comeback plan, then of course, that means there's a problem in your tactics. Okay? Then, of course, finally, on this fourth point is render a favor while you work towards meeting your obligations to them. What that simply means is that if you have obligation to certain people, render them certain favor ahead of meeting your obligations. Okay? Let's say, for example, you are into cleaning services, and they had invested in a project that you were involved in, and that project did not materialize, but you still have, as part of your services, is cleaning. You can offer to clean their homes once every month, for example, at no cost. Okay? You can discover a good book. Okay? You pick the book, and you know that they will love the book based on what you know they do. And you put a note on the book, oh, dear Mr. So, thank you so very much for having so much patience with me. Even though I know we are not in a good place at the moment, I discovered this book and I think you'll find it useful. I just cannot wait to make you proud soon, sir. And you put your name, you sign it, put a date. You send somebody to deliver to them. They will read it again. They will read it. Oh, dear, my name. If except they don't have blood flowing through their vein, that they will not have some little soft spot for you. Even when they will see you, they will definitely not show it, but they know that this person seems serious. See, when you see a serious entrepreneur, you always know by his actions. Things might not be working out for him or her at the moment, but by the creativity, because an entrepreneur by default is designed to be a creator through creativity. All right? So now, as I wrap up gradually, let me quickly talk about the fifth way to developing adversity intelligence. I hope you are getting value today. All right, it promises to be a great season. I just cannot wait when we start hosting our faculty members on each of these sessions going forward from next month, 26th. So we meet every 26th of every month. And so if you are joining us for the first time, let's make it another experience next month. And of course, feel free to invite people you really love to be part of this great movement. So number 5 is build the right coalition during adversity. That's building. Okay, number 5, building the right coalition during adversity. Okay, the first point I would like to make here is you've got to set up what I call an adversity board. Okay, during Second World War, all the countries that were involved, they had what they call the War Council, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you've got to set up your own adversity board. Okay, and this adversity board should comprise your in-house and external people. Okay, and it's going to be more like a think tank, your adversity think tank. Okay, so people that you tap from their knowledge. Okay, people that they have some very good perspective. Okay, for us to be great, there are 3 things we need to master. Number 1 is OPM, other people's money. OPT, other people's time. Then right here now, I'm talking about OPI, other people's intelligence. Okay, so you've got to have an adversity board and always think tank, brainstorm on how to create some form of new solutions, new way of doing things. Okay, the second point I want to make here is that create new proposition for new set of clients or investors. Okay, so what that simply means here is that the core of the money you need to come out of adversity is in the hands of people you have not met. All right, so don't allow adversity to tie you down. Don't say because your business is having challenges, you will not go for those networking events. No, that is when you need to go for networking events the more. That's when you need to go out for conferences. Okay, in your areas, for example, if you are based in Lagos, just ask them, where are the top hotels in Lagos? Okay, then send somebody out, or you yourself, you go and do some investigation. Okay, know the kind of events that will be taking place in those hotels, the ones that are free, the one you can enter, the one you need to make a call to someone that can grant you access. Dress well, smell nice, have your complimentary card, go and network like you don't even have a problem. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, if you're in Accra, for example, think about where things happen in Accra. Okay, and network. Okay, network, meet new people, speak intelligent, very authentic, be as authentic as you should, all right? And create new services. They pay you, you deliver, the profit you make, you keep it in your adversity purse so that you can pay off wherever you need to pay off or to fix what has gone wrong in your business. Please don't forget this, all right? Then number 6, creative thinking skills during adversity. Creative thinking skills during adversity. Creative thinking is the ability to approach a problem or a challenge from a new perspective or an alternative angle. Okay, with a great and uncommon mindset. Okay, so creative thinking is a new way of thinking because the old way of thinking will give you old results. Okay, the old way of thinking cannot give you new results. So when you are not getting results, what that simply means that there is something you need to know you don't know. All right? It's okay. But what you need to now ask yourself that you need to do what? You need to now introspect and start thinking more creatively so that you can exit the adversity experience as fast as possible. Okay, in creative thinking, there's what is called experimentation, all right? Where you simply you simulate your current challenge in your mind, okay? And you simply ask yourself, okay, look at how I find myself in this situation. Just imagine I've done it this way. What if I've done it this way? And it is very powerful when you think on pen and paper. That's why during adversity, always ensure you walk around with your pen and paper. Okay, it's safer that way. I know you have the smartphone, you have your gadgets. Sometimes your gadgets might not be available. You might be low on battery and your brain is working. Okay, all right? And sometimes what you can think of right now, you might never be able to think of it again for the rest of your life. Okay, so it's always important that you think on paper, create some form of experiment in your mind. Okay, and of course have what is called an open mind. Okay, be open-minded when you are thinking. Okay, give room for possibilities. Okay, engage in form of what is called lateral thinking. A lateral thinking is where you come up with solutions that are not conventional. Let's say, for example, you are not making sales. A conventional solution to not making sales is either you change your sales team, you employ new salespeople. Okay? And of course, when you think laterally, you might say, okay, why do I have to employ more hands when I'm not even making sales and I'm even struggling to even pay salary? Okay, our existing customers, okay, what do we need to do to make them even sell for us? Okay, what incentive do we need to create to make them as part of our selling forces? Okay, sales forces indirectly. Okay, that might just be a more superior thinking that will help you in a very strategic manner restore your sales without having to employ more hands. All right. So, and there's another aspect of creative thinking that is called pattern recognition. Failure follows a pattern. Success follows a pattern. Okay, so you need to ask yourself that, okay, how did I get here? Note the pattern. Everything, all the activities that occurred even 5 years ago, 4 years ago, we mean these decisions were taken gradually. It means these were the decisions that finally landed us in this kind of crisis. So it's very important that you look at the patterns of activities so that even in the future, when somebody brings a deal to you, you simply look at the pattern and you just smile. You say, no, I've seen this pattern before. This was similar to a decision we took 2 years ago that landed us in a major mess. All right? So always look at pattern recognition. And of course, deep and active listening can help you think even more critically. Because, you know why this is very critical? Let's say you have a client, you have already defaulted in your obligation to this client, and your client is just talking very angry. Don't be defensive. Just listen carefully. There are a lot of useful resource you can derive from what that person is saying to you, either good or bad. It doesn't matter to you. Okay? Then when you listen, when the person leaves your office, you now say, wow, this person even said this thing unknowingly. So this could be one of the reasons why I landed into this trouble. Okay? It's very important. You know, there was a major mess we find ourselves some time ago. And when the client was talking, I was listening carefully. I was listening carefully to this client. And after she finished speaking, and I just got a new perspective entirely. And I spent a greater part of my night thinking, okay, on how to create a solution, okay, to solving that challenge, okay? It's very important, very, very, very important. So I want to encourage us, because of time, I'm not going to go too deep into creative thinking. Do your own research about creative thinking, how you can think more critically. Like I said to you, the solution to all those challenges are right here. All we just need to do is to read all these books. All these books here, they are all designed to stimulate solution in us, all right? Then finally, I feel so excited. Now I can go for my cup of coffee immediately after this. Now, number 7, strategic power. of solution thinking. Okay. During adversity, it's good to think. So that guy died of thinking. What was he thinking? He was thinking about all his sorrows, all his problems. No. Okay. It's good. As a matter of fact, during adversity, 75% of your day must be spent thinking. Are we together? During adversity, 75% of your day must be spent thinking. Okay? And you must practice what is called reflective thinking. Reflective thinking is when you look at things from different dimensions, different angles. Okay? And there is a question. Okay, you need to ask yourself. This question is very important. This question will mold your thinking. And I call this question the adversity killing question. This question simply kills the adversity, at least within you. Okay, it's just to work out the external issues around you. You know what that question is? Just ask yourself the question. And please ask yourself the same question this night. That who would I become should I overcome this challenge? The current challenge you are facing right now, who would you become should you overcome the challenge tonight? I think the person you become should keep you excited. The person you become should keep you alive. The person you become should keep you out of depression. The person you become should keep you energetic. The person you become should keep you excited. The person you become should keep you active. The person you become should keep you so positive-minded. In short, the person you become should keep you fresh. All right? Because for you to attract fresh people, you must look fresh yourself. Oh, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, because sometimes when the problems are all written all over you, when you are speaking to a very intelligent man, I don't know of a foolish rich man. Rich people are very intelligent. They are so deep. When they are looking straight into your eyes, they ask you questions. If you are not sounding confident, they will not give their money to you. All right? So, who would you become should you overcome this challenge? Okay? And just imagine what is currently lacking in your industry. Okay? Imagine what is lacking in your industry, how you can create solutions to it. Okay? So your thinking should be solution driven. Okay? Should be solution driven. And of course, when you practice reflective thinking deeply, you will see eventually that you'll be able to come up with those solutions. And when you deploy those solutions, your resources will increase. When your resources have increased, then you'll be able to solve a great number of those business issues. Ladies and gentlemen, these are 7 ways to developing adversity intelligence. Thank you so very much for creating time to listen to us, myself especially, this evening. I thank you so much for those questions. I can see those questions. Like I said, our model for this edition is to create some level of activities on the WhatsApp group. So we are moving, okay? My team right now, they are moving those questions to the WhatsApp group, and I will personally be responding to those questions on the WhatsApp group tonight. So please, you can see the link already. Please join. All right? Some quick announcements before we wrap up this edition. Thank you so much for your rapt attention. I really appreciate it, okay? Now, our faculty members for this second edition, we've been able to, they've graciously accepted again to be on the faculty of the Project 14 Knowledge Hub for the second season. Okay, we are going to have, in the course of this session, or this season, we are going to have Mrs. Kemi Ogunkoya. She is a leadership expert. She is an authority when it comes to leadership and workplace environment. She is also going to impact us. So just go on YouTube, search for Project 14 Knowledge Hub, put Kemi Ogunkoya. You'll be able to watch the past episode we had with her. Very powerful. Then also we are going to have Dr. Linus Okore. Okay, Dr. Linus Okore is a great man. He's also a leadership author, runs one of the biggest Leadership Institute in Africa. Okay, you can do the same thing. Check out our YouTube channel. You'll be so wowed by the edition we had with Dr. Linus. So he's also going to come back to also be of great impact to us. Okay, we started last season with Mr. Jimmy Tewe. Okay, and he has graciously also accepted to be on this faculty for this season also. Mr. Jimmy Tewe has changed a lot of lives through his teachings and of course helped a lot of business to get re-engineered. Then of course we are going to have Dr. Ugochukwu Umego on this season, and I feel so excited about this reality also. And of course it's also going to impact us greatly. Of course we're also going to have Dr. Eladin Aruna. Okay, we're going to have Dr. Eladin Aruna on the Project 40 Knowledge Hub, impacting us greatly. And of course, Temi Ajibewa, okay, is about to reign, in Abuja. So in case you are hearing those sounds, not to worry, we'll be fine. Okay, this is the part of the Abuja I am right now. Okay, and of course, Mr. Niyi Adesanya, I feel so excited that the great Niyi Adesanya will also be part of the edition. And of course, my big boss himself, Mr. Gbishebaro, will also be joining us on this faculty. And Mada Merola, the bank creator, will also be on this faculty. One or two names will also be joining the faculty, which I'll be announcing to you on the next edition. Okay, so I encourage you to please go to our YouTube channel, Project 40 Knowledge Hub, and watch past episode. All right, and let me also congratulate again members of our Project 40 community that were awarded. We awarded 40 members of the Project 40 community during the ending of the last season. All right, and your awards will be delivered to you for those of you that are out of Abuja, because we needed to ensure that these awards were properly done, and we are so delighted that the physical version are ready. I've personally inspected them myself. So those that are in Lagos, in Accra, and different parts of Africa will be DHLing these awards to you. Then those of us that are based in Abuja will be inviting you to our Abuja office. Let's have a physical contact. Then we'll be taking a picture also together. Pictures that 10 years from today, when we see those pictures, we feel so excited. All right. So we'll also be contacting you in the process. Then, of course, in the course of October, we'll be launching our idea vote, and of course the growth matrix. All right. We'll be explaining. Some of you understand what that means already. We are currently working with people that would like to work with great people with great ideas that are members of this great community of ours. Okay. Then, of course, in the course of October, we'll be getting more clarity on how we can take advantage of the Project 40 Real Estate Support Program. That is going to be a very interesting part of this second season. My desire for every one of you listening to me, if you don't own a real estate asset, I really want you to own one. Okay, I don't want you to own it's good for you to own a land, please own land, but I want you to own a finished product, okay? A studio apartment, a one-bedroom apartment, at least for a start. And trust me, it's a great start. And being a member of this community, we are going to give you a whopping 40% discount on your assets that you'll be acquiring. It simply means that we are not making profit from it at all. For us, it's a movement we are making because we know that when we can empower ourselves, the community gets deepened, and of course, everybody wins eventually. So at this point, I need to run, and I must thank you for those of us that stayed to this very last moment. I'm so grateful, and I look forward to hosting you all again on the 26th of October 2022, when we'll be hosting one of the members of our faculty, and we'll be having a great discussion. The flyer for that will also be out very shortly. And of course, my desire for every one of you is to conquer any form of adversity you might be facing right now. All right? And I wish you the very best. Thank you so very much for being part of this edition. My name is Abioye, okay? And I'm the king of lifestyle. Bye-bye for now.
10 years ago, I discovered my real purpose, and I realized that 5 years well spent can change anybody's life. And of course, I further realized that knowledge must precede wealth. And because my situation was very critical, I made it a 10 years plan. That my first 5 years, I was going to change who I was. I was going to build myself. I was going to invest heavily in my personal development. I was going to build a lot of relationships. I was going to serve as many people as possible. And of course, the next 5 years to apply in a different dimension entirely the knowledge acquired. Because I realized that what would determine the success of Project 40 is who I know and what I know. Okay, and what I know will create the quality of who I will know. Okay, because people typically drift towards those that know. Now, when I conceived Project 40 10 years ago, September 2011 to be precise, okay, was just about me. I just wanted to be free. I'd suffered in life, suffer in quotes now. Okay, I've done all things. Would you believe that about 22 years ago, on the street of Lagos, in Lekki Phase 1, Phase 2, in Idimu area of Lagos, I'd worked as a site laborer, would you believe? But 22 years later, I'm now the CEO of a fast-growing Pan-African real estate development company. That we don't just build any houses, we build luxury apartments because that is what we stand for. Talking about purpose right now, and my journey into Project 40 was me realizing that I was actually created to solve one of the most chronic problems in our society, okay, which is shelter. Because in the hierarchy of needs of human, after food, the next thing you just want to think about is shelter. Okay, and we realize that the deficit is just so chronic, it's just so disturbing, and that led to a series of thinking. I remember my first thinking in solving this problem was that, let's leverage on crowdfunding, whereby, because then I was building a team of entrepreneurs, and I realized that we are making some reasonable amount of money, but we are all living in rented apartments, and that's really deprives us of that financial stability we are supposed to have. Because if your 3 months income cannot pay for your 1 year house rent, then you are living in the wrong environment. But we realize that we are spending like 60% of our annual income in paying for our 1 year house rent, okay, and that deprives us of certain aspects of our lifestyle. Okay, now I just felt, okay, let's create 1,000 successful entrepreneurs, and each of us will contribute ₦1 million, which is roughly about 2,000, 2005, thereabouts US dollars. Okay, and that will have helped us to raise about ₦1 billion, just as you can see the dollar equivalent here. Okay. And ₦1 billion will help us create a unique mini estate that will be collectively owned by these 1,000 people. And I was so excited about the idea. Then I thought deeper, and the excitement dropped again. That, when people crowdly own a mini estate, you've not solved the problem of people owning houses for themselves. Then we felt, okay, let's take this concept of crowdfunding to the next level. Then we created what the world had never experienced when it comes to home ownership. We call it the structured social funding system. Okay, we call it the structured social funding system that helps people to make up in numbers what they lack in cash. Okay, for me, that was one of the biggest discovery in my journey to Project 40. Thank you. Housing deficit is a global phenomenon. In Nigeria, we have 22 million units of housing deficit. All right. Thank you. In Ghana, we have 1.5 million units of housing deficit. In Africa, well over 40 million units of housing deficit. Globally, 1.5 billion deficit. At Lifestyle, we've been able to create unique leverage-based packages specially designed to help you own a luxury 4-bedroom terrace duplex apartment with a rooftop swimming pool worth over $300,000 US. For most people, owning a luxury home is a dream that is out of their hands, left to God, the government, or the economy. But what if is in your hand? What if there's a simple, foolproof, and scheme-free way to owning a luxury apartment in the city center worth hundreds of millions while expanding the frontier of your career and living the good life without the huge budget it typically takes? Lifestyle Asset Hub was officially launched on the 27th of April 2018. It's been 3 years of a great journey for us. We're a typical example that grew so organically. We started from practically nothing. We had no land when we started this vision. Okay, now 3 years down the line, we have over 6 locations in Abuja with presence in Lagos, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Owerri, of course Kano, with a plan to covering all the viable states in Nigeria. And we are fully incorporated in Ghana, in Rwanda, with great presence in Cameroon, Ivory Coast, the Gambia, and of course 5 other African countries. For us, we are super excited because 3 years of full operation and we are still debt-free. We've grown our operations very organically, and that is the power of our structured social funding system, which is our gift to the industry. And the concept of Lifestyle Hub is gradually changing lives. I remember a woman walked up to me when we launched Lifestyle Hubs on the 28th of April 2018, and the woman said to me, "Abioye, thank you for giving me a hope of owning a house. I wake up every morning with that woman's voice." And I'm so delighted she's still within our Vision Partners circle, and she's just so close to owning this house.
I think it has a quality of excellence, which is very commendable, because when you come to Lifestyle Hub, you find that it's a welcoming organization. You want to know more. What is it about this organization that makes it homely? So I think it has a quality of excellence. He possesses the quality of excellence. He is innovative, because in the real estate space, I haven't heard of this sort of plan.
But I met a young lady doing one of our leadership training, and I saw that drive in her, the team spirit thing, and that was what prompted me to be part of the organization. I tell you, it's one real estate organization that is going somewhere. Their concept, their purpose driving, their focus, they are determined. Now you see the quality, everything around it.
I met Abioye when the vision just started, and they have not started digging a hole, but they have a vision, and I reckon on vision. So I was introduced to him for a presentation, and he did that presentation. I saw the vision. I saw where he's going. I'm the number one person that didn't give him cash, but I told him, I believe in your vision.
I joined the Lifestyle Asset Hub company because I believed in her vision, her mission, and her long-term goal, which is basically to close up the housing deficit, not just in Nigeria, but in the whole of Africa. Now, we all know that Africa is the future, and I am one hell of a proud African. And I said to myself, why not be a part of something progressive?
Now, we should all care about Project 40. For those that are below 40, for example, don't let that number pass you by. It's a strategic number, because it's a number, if not properly focused on, can create what I call midlife crisis. And of course, can also create what I call midlife excitement. Okay, so it's a number that everybody should focus on. If you are 25 years today and you are an entrepreneur or a workplace professional, you should say to yourself, I'm going to create project 30 for myself. I'm going to create project 35. But your ultimate reality, your ultimate goal, okay, the ultimate project should be project 40. Okay, so simply because if a greater percentage of any society are financially stable at the age of 40 or in their 40s, then that society will become a very prosperous society. That is why Project 40 is very important. Just a year, now you see the way God works. Just 1 year to Project 40, I was 39, okay, and I had another revelation. And the voice spoke to me, and I know it's God because I meditate a lot. Because I always say to people, when you pray, you talk to God. Okay, when you meditate, you listen to God. And during my meditation, God said to me, Abioye, Project 40 is too small. Project 40 is too personal. Project 40 is too selfish. Project 40 is too individualistic. Project 40 is too narrow. Come on, make it broad. Okay? Then my Project 40 metamorphosized to Project 1 million. No, don't get scared now. I'm not saying I want to live up to 1 million years. Okay? Project 40 for me now meant that the year 2021, okay, the year I'll be clocking 40, I should galvanize a unique movement that will create 1 million jobs across, not just Nigeria, across Ghana. Okay, across Kenya, across Zambia, across South Africa, across Rwanda, across all the corners of Africa, because Africa is the new wealth, is the new global wealth. Okay, Africa has the biggest ecosystem in the world, and God says, Abioye, work towards making this ecosystem even more attractive for the people in the West to come and make this green continent a great one. So, Project 40 change. Now it's Project 1 million. And for me, this even keeps me more excited. One strategy that never gets old is solving problems, solving societal problems and getting rewarded for it. And with the new world we find ourselves, post-COVID, has even increased the number of problems we are all facing. So what that simply means is that for you to achieve greatness, you need to look around you. Remember that what is within you is bigger than what is around you. So no matter the problem around you, ask yourself, which of these problems do I need to solve? Then create a strategy around it, okay? And the strategy you're going to create will have a lot of stakeholders that will come around to work with you to achieving it. And you've got to ask yourself, this very problem I want to solve, who are the people I need to work with? What are the resources required? How do I need to develop a unique strategy that makes the solution very clear for anybody that wants to buy into it? Once somebody buys into it, once a group of people buys into it, trust me, nothing stops you. Yes. The past 10 years has indeed been historic. I've met a lot of people. I've been able to impact a lot of lives in the process. And my own life has also been impacted. But most importantly, I've been greatly helped and supported by a good number of people. You're watching me right now. I wish I can list everybody, but I don't want to do that because I really don't want to leave any name out of this. Okay, I thank you so very much for supporting Project 40. Now it's Project 1 million. We even need your support even more than ever. Together, let's impact and change our society. Thank you so very much.